Good day to you. In this lesson where the staffing is being discussed, we would like to focus more on the job per se. When I say job per se, what is the job that we would like to know, and how the job is designed, how the job is to be talked about, how the job is to be sold, and how the persons are to be recruited for that job. So, this is most important factor in organizations, because you will find job descriptions. It is something like a directory of job descriptions you will have in many organizations. Now, let us understand what is job per se. Job has got the objectives of this lesson is also the same, has got 4 dimensions. What is the job analysis? How would you describe the job? What kind of job specifications you are prescribing? I mean to say, qualifications required, experience required. How do you evaluate a job? And these 3-4 dimensions of a job will enable you understand the job and then hire a person when you are doing the staffing function. Okay? Now, let us understand one after the other about what is job analysis. It is a process of analyzing and collecting information relating to the operations and responsibility of a specific job. I will give an example, 2 examples. One is from the operations side and other is from the staff side. Suppose there is a hydraulic press is there in a manufacturing organization, and you need an operator for that hydraulic press, which means it presses the item to make it as a something like, for example, ceramic tiles. There is a powder comes out, and the powder is kept in a kind of a square or a rectangle kind of a mold, and hydraulic press is used to compress that one, and that press needs to be operated in a manner which is specified by the technology. So, what is the requirement of a person being recruited for that kind of a job? So, you must understand the job in a basic level and also at a deeper level. You must observe what is the kind of a job involved in that, what kind of technology is involved in that. So, you will have currently operating hydraulic press operators, you interview them, you understand what is their daily, what has been done daily on their job. For example, 8 hours duty. After the 8 hour duty is over, how does he hand over the charge to second person, that is B shift, and how the B shift fellow is operating to the C shift. When the machine is going to be sent for maintenance, periodic maintenance, what are the requirements of the person who is handing over and taking over the job needs to do. So, these are all the things which are required for an operator. Suppose if it is a staff function where the person is a purchaser, he is purchasing a particular engineering equipment from 3 vendors. So, 3 vendors are continuously doing that one, and if he is happy with 3 vendors, fair enough, but he should not be happy with that, for the simple reason that his job is to buy in a very competitive manner. I mean to say, your buying shall enable the organizations to reduce the cost of buying. So, better purchase is possible when you buy things at a very competitive price, but without compromising the quality. So, a person who is a purchaser will develop another vendor, the 4th vendor. In case all the 3 vendors fail, he will have another vendor to supply. So, the thing will be understand. That is what is called the job analysis, and you will have so many things here: questionnaire method, job inventories, what is the performance levels required, what are the reference materials that you have to read, what is the critical incident method, I mean to say what is critically happening in the job. So, these things are critical, so they have to be done that way. So, you will be doing so many so much of analysis with the experts. There is something called industrial engineering. An industrial engineer will be collaborating with the HR person and the HR. See, understand how HR function is critical for the organization. HR function is involved in each activity of the organization, which means today HR job is having a bird's eye view of the organization, and HR persons are occupying critical positions. They are even occupying MD and CEO levels, because they understand the organization in a much broader perspective. So, this is how things are happening. Next to finance, you will find human resource function pervading. Finance pervades every activity. Similarly, HR function also pervades every activity of the organization. Basic contents of a job analysis and job specification. Let us understand. Personal characteristics such as education, job experience, age. Suppose some jobs required only male candidates, some jobs required only female candidates. You have to have that one, and you cannot now talk about gender sensitivity and things like that. For example, a job which requires physical exertion of work and things like that, you cannot employ women, and the job requires smartness or chip assembly and things like that. For example, you will find in various mobile assembly units, many women are working over there, because they are very good at that one. They are very dedicated, committed and things like that, when compared to human, the male, because male will demonstrate a skill set which is sometimes more, not so soft kind of a thing, but women will be able to do such certain jobs in a more sophisticated manner. So, physical characteristics, that are height, weight, chest, vision, hearing, health, voice poise, okay, and hand and foot coordination, that is dexterity. These are all required for certain high skill jobs. What are the kind of attitudes person requires? Okay, his memory levels, his judgment, his foresight, ability to focus on things. So, and job also will focus on the social and psychological characteristics such as emotional ability, flexibility, manners and drive. Okay, drive in the sense, what are the motives, what drives him to apply for the job, why does he choose this kind of a profession and things like that. So, his ability to converse with people, his ability to mingle with people, and his values and creativity are also understood, which are required by a job. We must enlist the contents of a job analysis specification in three terms nearly: essential qualities, desirable qualities, contraindicators which are likely to become a handicap for a successful job performance. Suppose if you say that a person must have engineering in electrical engineering, desirable qualities will be he must have worked in transformers. Okay. Contraindicators would mean that if that person has worked in motors, okay, if that person has worked in other areas where he will be having absolutely no connectivity with the transformers, then that will become a contraindicator. Or suppose a person working in a organization which has got a very primitive technology, whereas you are requiring a person to work on a latest technology. So, he might end up spoiling the machinery. So, a contraindicator may be an indicator which is working against the job itself. So, you have to look at those aspects also. Now, let us understand job description in a much more detailed manner. Write a statement that describes the work that is to be done and the skills, knowledge and even attitudes needed to perform a particular work. Okay? You must understand what is the general information of the job, what is the job summary, and what kind of salary considerations are, minimum and maximum levels, the range. What are the duties and responsibilities of a person holding the job, and something like definition factors like general knowledge, how much general knowledge a person must possess, what kind of problem solving and decision making skills he must have, what kind of interactions he would be having with the people around him, what kind of supervision he has to have, because there are people who are working with him under his supervision, and what kind of impact he should make on the people working with him and also for the people who is taking report from him. I mean to say his reporting officers. What are the minimum qualifications? What are the physical requirements? It is basically to tell you about how a job should be described. You have job families. In this picture itself you will be able to understand. Operational and technical is a job family where you will have level 1, level 2, level 3. Okay. Generally in organizations, when you have level 1, that is number 1, means from it's not a descending level, it is an ascending kind of a level. Okay. When you say that descending and ascending kind of a thing, 1 stands for top, not the lowest number. So, level 1 is nothing but the top level, level 2 is lower than the level 1, level 3 is lower than the level 2, which means in operational and technical aspects of a job, if you have wanted to recruit a person at level 1, you have to describe what does it indicate, what kind of skills, attitude and knowledge is required for level 1, what is required for level 2, what is required for level 3. Okay? That is how you will have job family called operational and technical jobs. You will have professional jobs. They are also professional. Don't misunderstand, operational and technical are not professional, they are professional. I mean to say that they are more into operations than into looking at the professional aspects of it. Okay? For example, a mechanical engineer and a worker working in the maintenance department. A mechanical engineer must have a thorough knowledge about various aspects. A maintenance worker of for example, a particular mission must know only about that particular mission. I mean to say his knowledge and skills are narrowed, whereas at a professional level much broader understanding of what is the mechanical engineering involved in running this organization. So, that is a professional level. In that again professional level you will have entry level, which means trainee engineer, you will have junior engineer, you will have senior engineer, you will have manager and you will have general manager. So, these are all the various levels. At the professional levels also you will have it. And again you will have among supervisory category, you will have supervisors level 1, level 2, you will have managers level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, which means you need to promote people from level 4 to level 3, level 3 to level 2, level 2 to level 1, which is the highest one, so that you will have a career growth for a person. He is a manager, he belongs to a manager job family, but his grade is 4, 3, 2, 1. That is how you have to understand M4, M3, M2, M1, supervisory 2, supervisory 1. That is how jobs are being graded, jobs are being created and families are being made. Let us understand job description in a much broader perspective. Yesterday, just before this one, I mentioned to you that job has got a family and we discussed more about job per se. A family has got a zone, I mean to say HR is a zone, finance is a zone, and you will have zonal approach towards jobs, job family in each zone. For example, if you look at human resources, okay, you have different roles. Determine the job family zone. In this step, we determine the appropriate zone within the selected job family by matching the job description of the new or the revised job to the zone criteria described in the zone placement matrix. Okay? If you look at the picture which is mentioned over there, if a person who joined as a HR manager, okay, at level 4, in the last slide I mentioned about manager 4, okay, which is a junior level kind of a position, and he has to grow to become HR director. What is the career path for him? How he should migrate from manager to HR director, and what is the career path involved in that one? For example, a manager will have to become a senior manager, then he has to become assistant general manager, then he has to become deputy general manager, then he has to become a general manager, then he has to become a senior general manager, then he has to become assistant vice president or associate vice president, or he has to become a vice president, a senior vice president, then he will become HR director. Because to get into the directorship, you need to pass through several levels. These are all the promotional avenues a manager HR has got. By the time he retires, he can retire as a general manager, or he can retire as a, because of his progression, because of his potential, because of the commitment he has shown, because of the passion he has demonstrated, he might become HR director in very less time, because he has shown that kind of a commitment and shown that kind of a creativity and professional ethics. So you will find people occupying HR director position at a much younger level. Say for example, by the age of 45 years, a person might become HR director. So this is how you have to look at job per se, and job has got its own career path. I would like you to understand the job title, how it is to be arrived at, because the picture will be more appropriate to explain the components of the job analysis. Okay, organizational analysis, selection of representative positions to be analyzed, collection of job analysis data, preparation of job descriptions, preparation of job specifications. As I told you, job specification is nothing but minimum qualifications required, minimum experience required, desirable, essential and desirable, and contraindicators. These are all the specifications you may mention about a job specification. Okay. So if titles will have to be looked at by understanding the responsibility of that job title holder. Suppose if he is a product manager, okay, when you say product manager, there can be three positions. One is production level, other one is marketing level. In the marketing level, if he is a product manager, he must understand a product knowledge. He must disseminate product knowledge about the product advantages, okay, and why the product is superior to the consumers. Meaning, a product manager in the marketing scenario will be nothing more but educationalist. He has to educate. When it comes to product manager, in a production setup, he has to manage the product without any deviation from the quality standards. Let us take another example, accountant. What is the role of an accountant? Okay, a role of an accountant, okay, is a producer of, okay, certain bills of accounts, I mean to say accounts, ledgers and things like that, balance sheet, profit and loss statements. These statements you will be producing. What is the role of accounting assistant? Accounting assistant is nothing but booking the expenditure under various heads of accounts. Say for example, maintenance, all maintenance bills will be put under the maintenance account, all research and development expenditure, all training and development expenditure, all recruitment expenditure, sales and marketing promotional expenditure. So he is booking the expenditure under various accounts. He maintains those registers, whereas the accountant will say that, say for example, what is the cost of recruitment? Then the accountant will say that this is the cost of recruitment for production, marketing and various other functions. That's how you will understand the responsibility of a job title, and accordingly you provide the job title appropriately. So, a director of research is basically a strategist, because he will direct what kind of research must be undertaken, what is the requirement in the future. He will be understanding much better way, because he will be scanning the markets, he will be attending the workshops, he will be participating in the seminars and conferences within the country, outside the country. He will be collecting so much information about what are the recent trends, techniques, production methods and things like that, so that he will guide the research and development activity in the organization in a much more profitable manner. Okay. This is a typical job description, it is called JD, and as I told you in the beginning itself, a professional organization is one which will have a directory of job descriptions for all the jobs, unique jobs that it has. For example, a unique job is one which is very unique by itself. There is no other job existing in the organization like this. Say for example, marketing manager, product development, which is a unique job. How does he develop the product? Which means he will be educating the customers to buy that product because of certain reasons, certain benefits it gives to the products, customers. So, that is how you will be having a unique positions, unique jobs, and there will be several jobs which are falling within under that. For example, a worker who is, let us take a very simple example, that a company has got 100 trucks to transport. Okay, you have a driver. Driver is the one unique position or a job, but you can recruit several drivers for running all the trucks. So, you need not have truck A driver, different job specification, job description. One job description would suffice to recruit all the drivers for all the trucks. Okay? That is what is called job family and unique job. So, this is how a job description will be looking like: job title, work location, division and department. Okay? What is exempted, what is not exempted, then what are the essential duties, okay, education, work experience requirement, physical requirements, and you will be having certain legal requirements also. As I told you, JD should indicate the nature and scope of the job, including all important relationships. Suppose a job reports to manager, and a job has got reportees. Suppose you have recruited one production manager. Production manager reports to general manager production, and production manager has got several supervisors reporting to him, which means what is the organogram, organizational structure of a production manager, how many people report to him and to whom he is reporting. Okay, extension of what is the scope of supervision, and what is the complexity involved in that one, what is the kind of work, degrees of skills required, okay, and problems and standardized, extent to which problems are standardized. I mean to say, there are problems which are occurring in a job. Without a problem there is no job. For example, breakdown happens. When breakdown happens, what needs to be done? Okay, these are all the something like standard operating procedures sometimes will also be included in the job description. Here is a set of guidelines for preparing job descriptions. Okay, these guidelines will certainly help you prepare a practical, feasible and a very helpful job description which will enable the persons who are doing the talent acquisition. Okay, you must have this kind of a job description in a crisp and to the point manner. You cannot run into so many pages. You must have quintessential kind of a job, and it should be aptly captured with appropriate words in a concise manner. So, it should be concise, readily understandable, and it will give a picture of the whole job process. Okay, describe it in detail, emphasize the accuracy, brevity and simplicity. Okay, rather than you give so much of description about a job. You must make it crisp and to the point. You should be using the active words: determine, do this, okay, decide, or operate, and do maintenance. This kind of active words you must be able to use to describe a job. Indicate the extent of supervision to be received and given. I mean to say, you supervise somebody and somebody will supervise you. So when somebody is supervising you, what kind of reports you have to give it to him? When you are supervising somebody, what kind of information you require from them, which means you are receiving a supervision and you are also giving a supervision, and mention that scope and extent of that. Okay. New employee must understand job by reading the job description. That's what Bhatia, S.K. Bhatia has mentioned in his book written in 2008, that a new person who has joined the organization was selected through a process of recruitment and selection, and when he joins the duty, when a piece of paper is given to him, when he reads it, he must feel very happy, very comfortable, which means your recruitment process is right, your way of explaining the job is right, your selection process is excellently done. There are certain limitations for anything that we do in the management function, anything for that matter, because we are not gods. We try to be perfect, we will never be able to become perfect. We are all imperfect entities in the organization, in the world. So there are limitations to which we should be having so much of awareness and understanding. As I mentioned to you, a job description gives a brief. It will not be able to give the entire details. Okay. Say for example, a chef in a hotel who cooks the Western cuisine. Suppose the Indian cook did not turn up. You have got already customers waiting at the tables. They have occupied. What do you do? A job, suppose if you say, I have recruited this chef only to cook the Western cuisine and he cannot cook the Indian cuisine, then you will be losing the customers, and those customers will not come back, and they will go back and say that these people are not able to manage the chefs. So you must have a multi-skilling. A cook who cooks a Western cuisine should be able to cook Indian cuisine too in case of emergency. So certain things cannot be contemplated. A job description will not be able to capture everything, but as a person joins that one, you have to communicate that one to the person. And sometimes without communication also, you must be able to understand whether the person will be able to do other jobs other than the jobs mentioned over there. So have them recorded in his personal file. This person can also cook Chinese dishes, Indian dishes, okay, and blah blah blah, so that as and when there is a requirement, you match that requirement to this person and ask the person to do the job. So this is what is. Many times employees experience confrontation between actual work and work as per the job description, because jobs are varying, demands are varying, organizations are requirements are varying. Job description provides a kind of a broader perspective of a job, okay, not the kind of total set of jobs one by one kind of a thing. Sometimes that jobs may not be required at times, and he may require certain other things which are okay, not part of the job. For example, a maintenance job which is not a part of a job of an operator, but maintenance engineer did not turn up, you have to maintain it. So you will train him, and you will also say that you can also do some maintenance. Actually speaking, person should not have any confrontation. He shall feel happy that I am equipping myself with multi-skilling. So, nowadays employees are expecting wider scope of learning. So, this is not a limitation, but this limitation can be certainly overcome by marketing about the requirements of the job well in advance with the job holders. Job description is used as a guideline rather than a detailed account of duties. Okay? It is not a constitutional text saying that according to the constitution this is how it should be. No, it is only a indicator of certain basic jobs, essential jobs which a job holder will have to do it. What are the other requirements and applications and usages of job description? Okay? It can be used as a legal document when signed by both employee or her reporting officer at the time of joining, which means a contract. I am agreeing to do these jobs, knowing fully well I am joining this job. Suppose a job requires an exposure to certain threats like electrical shocks or a gas being leaked. Sometimes we never know, and there are high temperatures to which the person will have to expose himself with certain guards and protective equipment. Okay. So, he should know very well that yes, these are all the professional hazards to which I am exposed. I am knowing fully well I am joining this job, and when both the job holder and the reporting officer signs the document, it will become a contract. Okay. Organizations maintain, as I told you, job description directory, and they keep updating it because it might be called upon by the courts. Do you have a set of job roles, or it might even ask, have you informed the employee that these are all his duties? Then when you take out a job description document and place it before the court of law, the court of law will have to rely on that, and it will feel that yes, this organization is professionally being managed. And remember one thing, job descriptions undergo change as organization changes, and business priorities, its business priorities, and business is also changing. So, change is the mantra for all of us to understand that nothing is permanent in this life. Only thing is, it is an evolutionary process. So, JD job descriptions are also evolutionary in nature. Thank you very much. All the best to you.